ship of 11 people that we summarily executed as a country in the Caribbean Sea as they were traveling from Venezuela to Trinidad. And then I think they were actually, once they realized like they're being tailed by a drone, they tried to turn back to Venezuela. It is being reported that those people now in Venezuela were just merely fishermen.
Fishermen, yes. Guys, please. I don't want to do the whole, asking early. Some people seem to get offended by that. I don't know why. It's just to hit the like button, but I do appreciate when people do it. And I'm going to beg you guys to hit that like button immediately right off the bat. And please give this a long duration. Topics like this you will not see on the right. MAGA used to be the most anti-war, they used to talk about anti-war things, whatever, group, whatever. Trump was supposed to be the most anti-war president. What Sam Seder just said just hit me right in my soul, because that's exactly what I said. When I saw what was happening, I was like, those were fishermen. So in this clip, we're going to watch Sam Seder absolutely destroy, demolish, and we're watching it together. Destroy and demolish and pick up by his beanie and just run around the room with him verbally. Tim Pool, for now becoming a neocon. Okay, this is Tim Pool, who said he would never be with the establishment and all of this stuff. Tim Pool will get absolutely eviscerated, destroyed, shred into bits for being the neocon for MAGA. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Why don't we're just going to skip right over to Tim Pool talking about it.
Years. I don't want to be involved in a war overseas. We got enough problems with these narco gangs coming out of Venezuela and South America, bringing drugs through our border, child trafficking, all this really nasty stuff. And you know what should be happening? Venezuela should be saying, stop. These guys who are getting up on these boats with drugs should be like, I ain't doing that. Are you crazy? And that's what we are getting with a real Department of War. I got to tell you, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we get, what was it, Collateral Murder was the name of the video put up by WikiLeaks. And I'm wondering why it is there is a video at all of, I think it was like, what was like Apache or something, a helicopter strike on a bunch of guys, including a Reuters journalist. And it was this big scandal. Whoopsie. Why?
Wait, what?
Why is that the news that we're getting?
Hold on. Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on.
Why was that the news? It was leaked by Chelsea Manning, and she was in jail for years because of that specific video.
You're confused, Tim.
Is he?
Does he not know? What? Does he think it was accidentally leaked by the U.S. government?
He does this weird thing where he tries to play both sides, but like that was an example where the president was a liberal, and the liberals were the ones upset about that too.
Also,
that was during
during Obama.
Well, they were the ones who imprisoned Chelsea Manning for the leak.
Right.
This was...
The leak came out under Obama, too. Yeah.
and I'm just to self-centeredly point out, he's reappropriating whoopsie.
I think, or maybe that's just a thing.
No.
And let me tell you, this is why I respect the left a little bit more. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about like the, wacko children that they keep on, getting in chat rooms and unfortunately being taken advantage of by probably the feds. And I have said too much already. But I appreciate them more because they're talking about in real time what Obama did and with Chelsea Manning and Julian Assange. They didn't bring him up yet. What is Tim about to say?
What are you doing over there? No, I get it. You had the Gulf War, you had weapons of mass destruction, whatever the claims were. And I'm just like, what is this? The obsession that the liberal economic order had, the European and U.S. forces with going overseas and nation building. They were trying to... It was nation.
Incidentally, it was a conservative Republican president who led us into that war.
And it wasn't liberal economic order nation building. It was the global war on terror.
And what does he think we're doing in Venezuela? We are explicitly saying that is for regime change purposes. What Trump is doing is bombing a ship. We now know we're fishermen in order to provoke the Venezuelan government to respond so we can wage war or regime change
Exactly.
against them.
A pretext.
Is he just unknowledgeable about the history, or is he trying to sort of cram the history in to fit as a premise for what he's about to say?
I think it's hard to answer those questions definitively because I think Tim has two hemispheres of his brain that work independently. The one which is basically anti-war, saying I don't trust the government, and the other that says like I'm very proud of what Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump.
Nah, it's not that. It's that Tim is establishment. Like, I mean, it is a funny joke that he's making, but we have to call it out for what it is. Tim is full establishment. This is why Trump was allowed to get back in, because Trump can wage war with fishermen so that we can go in and get rid of Maduro, cause a whole problem in Venezuela. And then I'll have to hear about MAGA crying about, well, Trende Iraq, where we have too many refugees. This is what we do. Furthermore, why the liberal world order? Tim Pool cannot even simply say Israel lobby, bro. They're right. We went into Iraq under George Bush. It was not Bill Clinton who sent us there or Barack Obama. I don't trust any of these politicians because they all answer to their masters, okay? But keep it real. This is insane, bro. He is nothing but a propagandist for MAGA. That's it.
Do with making the American people live better lives. Now, let me say this. I'm not so stupid or naive to think that with Hegseth and Trump, we won't get similar things. I don't trust any of these guys to a certain degree. I certainly see with Trump and Hegseth tremendous improvements. Trump has done amazing things working towards peace. They announced the other day this Gaza-Israel peace plan, which I don't trust Israel at all. And there's reports now that Netanyahu's already trying to walk back the agreement, but it won't matter. You're going up against Trump and Hegseth, and these guys,
Wait.
these are not the weak, woke military of
Feels
yesterday.
like you trust them.
Yeah.
Bro asked permission to be able to just say he doesn't trust Netanyahu. Actually, there's more to it than that, but I'm working on why I think that's what that is. Bro talking about you're going against Trump. Bro. We answer to the Israel lobby. Now, let me make this a little easier. If the Israel lobby says they don't want Netanyahu, but don't worry, they're still, remember, it's pro-Israel. That's different, okay? Then Trump will be allowed to do what he needs to do. But don't get it twisted. But Tim's never going to say stuff like that.
Did you just say you don't trust them all the way? But
hemispheres.
let's not listen to what Benjamin Netanyahu said about not abiding by the ceasefire, or the fact that he already did this earlier in January and just like didn't abide by the terms that Trump supposedly negotiated, and did this with Biden as well. We just trust the strong men that make Tim feel safe. But I don't trust them all the way.
But I'm proud of what they're doing.
And I love them.
Here he gets to the boat.
So here's what I'm interested in. I see these drone strikes on these narco gangs, and the first thing I think is let's be honest. Are we going to trust the government? If you want to trust the government, I got a bridge to sell you. I'll tell you what. Luke Rudkowski wearing a shirt the other day. Trust God, not government.
Oh, God.
However, there's something really funny here. When I see a story about Barack Obama blowing up kids or whatever, you know, there's interestingly, coming from the liberal press, I have to wonder, like, wow, they're willing to say that about Obama. Yeah. But there's a question, why? Why did Barack Obama order a drone strike on a civilian restaurant in Yemen, which killed a 16-year-old American citizen? Honest question. I'd like answers to that, please. Reportedly, Donald Trump ordered a commando.
We've talked about this. It was Anwar al-Awlaki's son, and it was wrong. I mean, they shouldn't have killed Anwar al-Awlaki either. The Obama administration found essentially on their own through the OLC that they had the authority to kill American citizens if they were engaged in inciting terrorism, as they claimed Anwar al-Awlaki did. His 16-year-old son was killed, I don't know if it was like 2 months later or 3 months later. And the only response that ever came from the White House was the guy who went on, I think, to work for Uber. I can't remember which one, who said, well, he had a bad dad.
Oh, Malcolm Nance.
No, it
Or
wasn't Malcolm Nance. Malcolm
Right, I know
Nance
what
we
you're
had
talking
on this
about now,
program,
yeah.
but it was one of
Gibbs?
Gibbs.
Yeah.
I think it was Gibbs. And
There were so many Obama people that went to work for Uber.
I know. I don't know if he actually went to work for Uber. I
Yeah.
can't remember, but that's what he said. We had Malcolm Nance on, and it was the last time we ever had him on. The first and last time we had him on, where he made that claim about Al-Awlaki's son had a gun, as if, okay.
Just blow him up then.
And I mean, so this is exactly what I mean. Again, they're being honest about what they would consider their side. I'm actually listening to this explanation because I've actually never heard this explanation before. Because I didn't. I knew this had happened, but I didn't hear the explanation, which obviously is totally egregious. And be clear what they just said there, that they had the right to do this because they claimed that the people were inciting terror attacks or terror type of movements. That freaks me out to no end, considering we are in a time where if you are pro-PAL, they consider you a Terry almost. So it's just wow. But let's see. We'll look at a little bit more of of Tim Pool. So hold on.
Of I think an 8-year-old American girl. There's nuance to these stories. Obama's administration admitted it. Whoops, they said. Trump administration, I don't believe, has given a statement. I'm not sure, but this is an allegation not yet proven. I don't care. I'm not playing any games. Why? Now, if the Obama administration wants to admit it, I say, okay, then open a commission and investigate. They're not gonna. That was the killing of Abdulrahman al-Awlaki. And to a certain degree, I understand we want to focus on moving forward instead of going back 10 years.
They did claim that they killed him. I don't know, like they
He
said
just
that they had
admitted that.
authority. I don't understand.
That was a weird thing where Tim had to admit that the Obama administration admitted.
So
when they
he's
killed
just
people.
rolling around and has no idea what he's saying in this.
No, it's funny. Yeah. So there you go, guys. This is the clip. Like, I'm cracking up because, like, for real, Tim, like, what are you doing? Like, you're such a loose. All right. Sorry. Let me get back. I forgot I was taping. But because I feel comfortable talking to you guys, like whoever's listening. And again, thank you for listening. Why are you bringing up? Believe me, there's a lot to bring up about Obama. I mean, Gaddafi itself is just like, freak, what's going on? I don't want to hear from Tim Pool. Tim Pool cannot say Israel lobby. Okay, that's why I don't want to hear from him. Also, too. Why are you bringing up Obama and Trump is running around blowing up fishermen? At the very least, and believe me, I'm telling you, it's not an excuse about what Obama did because they can call anybody a Terry, right? But at least they came up with a basic explanation, at least try to BS you. Trump doesn't know, this administration does not know. They claim that they have evidence to provide that they did this today too, again, by the way, that they have evidence to provide that people on the boats were bad guys. Did they interrogate them? They don't even have their names. At least the other one, they knew his name, right? And they knew his moving around or whatever. And they could, of course they exaggerated to no end. This thing here is literally you're watching a boat and then blow, gone. Terrys were on the boat. Like, what? So I don't know why Tim Pool is doing this thing where he's going back, but like, why do you feel like you need to talk about Obama to talk about Trump, bro? Like, it's insane. And I tweeted too earlier. I was like, I said, well, poor Julian Assange. We really, they persecuted that man for what they do today on Twitter. Then nothing gets leaked anymore. Literally, the administration just be like, yo, put that on Twitter real quick. And then you get the obligatory MAGA. This is what I voted for. You freaking weirdos, man. Oh, boy. All right, guys. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.